Welcome to part 2 of our process on how to set up 123 Sync server with Exchange. Here we will deal with the Exchange permissions. The purpose of this segment is to show how to provide permissions for a login, an authorized login from a machine to Exchange server to have access to other mailboxes contents as well for synchronization purposes. So in our case, we have test 10 that we've now successfully managed to log into the Exchange server, and we want to provide permissions for test 10 to access Fred's, Chris's, Allison's, and Ernst's mailboxes so we can successfully synchronize from 123 Synchronizer. First of all, we open the Exchange Management Console on the Exchange, and we select a user that we want to provide permissions for test 10 to access it. So we click on the Manage Full Access Permissions. So we now get the Full Access Permission console. Under the Full Access Permissions, we click on the Add button, and that way we get a list of all the users. We have to scroll through the users until we reach the user that we want to provide full access to. And in our case, it's called test 10 because that's the user that we've established to communicate between the desktop and the Exchange server. So we just select test 10, and it will look like this, where test 10 now has access to the user. So now this way you provide access, full access to test 10 to the mailboxes that you want 123 Synchronizer to synchronize with. The one thing you have to be careful, and it is 99% of the failures to access Exchange, is to match the name that you have on Exchange with the login name on the desktop. We get a lot of issues when there's a mismatch and you assume that you're providing permissions to somebody else, and you'll have these errors occur with 123 Synchronizer when it's trying to log into the folder itself. So always make sure that that the username that you're logging in for is the same as the username that you're actually providing access for. So now we have set up test 10 to access the full mailboxes on the Exchange server. So let's go to the 123 Synchronizer and then just set up the mailboxes to be the ones that we want to set to access for each particular user in 123 Sync. Now we have full access to those mailboxes from 123 Synchronizer. And we do that by going directly to the Exchange server.